Right, here we are again, working away in the garage. Today, I'm going to try and make this look a little less holy and something more like this. Here we go, let's do it. Right, I've got that chopped out. That should look like that. I'm right by the filler pipe for the tank, so I don't know, might have to drop the tank. That's getting a bit close for comfort, I think. So I've just hacky choppy that out. That's a technical term, hacky choppy. And bloody hell, I mean, the inner structure's good, or some of it anyway. So you know, it's not all bad news. So I'm just gonna have to cut all this bit out to gain access. This is all right because this all comes with the new arch, so that's fine. Let's push the old welding blanket back. I've cut down there, cut across there and down, plate in there, reconstruct this little bit, and then put my piece in. Step 1, cut out the rust. Step 2, make a little patch. And step 3, start to form it. I'm going to have a little go with this. It looks like it's not quite a 90. Let's see what we can do there. Oh, look at that. Lovely and easy. Huh, I reckon that's not bad. Let's see what it looks like. Look at that. Lovely, nice, neat bend in there. This one, unfortunately, I have to do in the vise. Ye old metal bender is good, but it has its drawbacks on which way you can do a bend. So, because I've got it bending that way, now I can't do a bend the other way, if that makes sense. Doesn't really make sense to me, but when I'm here doing it, I know what I'm on about. Let's crack on. Something like that. Okay, a little test fit there. I think that's ready to weld in. Right, that is welded. Looking pretty sweet. And next is to grind that back a bit, and then I can start reconstructing this corner. I won't bother filming grinding it back because it's boring. It's boring doing it. Progress! Okay, first piece is in. Let's carry on building this up. Oh my god, what have I done? Well, somehow I'm gonna get that in there. It will be good. It's a bit of a weird one because you can't get a Caddy rear wheel arch, so it's actually a Mk1 Golf arch, so you have to modify it to fit. Hence, I'm doing it in 2 sections because the Mk1 Golf arch doesn't fit round all this gubbins. So let's get this one tacked in and have a look. Okay, not going too bad. So I've just nailed that arch in, which is great, because now I can start on the inside. Obviously, this bit here, I've got this panel that goes on there to cut out that rot. So that'll need a little scribe into there, and that'll take care of that. Moving forward, coming down this little bit, because this is the Mk1 Golf arch, it's actually hanging a lot lower than it's supposed to. So I think I need to section this bit. Obviously, I've got no point to work to because that's rotten as well. So I think I need to get that in first. Get that little panel. The inner seal section on the back of that is also absolutely knackered. But I have got that panel to go in. I just want to finish this arch. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to get this in, the back in, section that. Then I can do all that gubbins and what's name. Not sure if you can hear my little heater going. It brings me so much joy. So much joy. Right, okay. There we go, that's that piece. Very rotten. Let me show you in here. This is what I'm left with. I've just cut below my line just for the moment. But yeah, look in there. Where is that panel gone? What? Yeah, it's not terrible. I'm gonna have to cut the bottom of that off. I can't. How do you do it? I do hope that was the right call. Have a look now. And then that little piece. God knows how that welds into there, but it does apparently. It's quite hard when you don't really know what you're doing and you haven't actually got anything to work. Basically what I'm doing here is cutting stuff till it works, or looks like it might possibly work. It's going to look something a bit like that, which I'm pretty pleased with that as a test bit. Obviously it's still this detail to sort out. Could prove, well, challenging to say the least. But as always, I'll probably need to sort that out first while I can get to it. Right, it took a bit of work to get it out, but it is out. So as you can see, there's not really much left of it, to be honest. So I've drilled out those spot welds, so that's how we'll put it back in again. And then it has a couple onto that lip, which I need to clean up. Ooh, another little hole. I've got my two bits hanging up here that I've had a couple of coats of weld through primer on the insides because I won't be able to get to them again. So I'm going to tack them in to this bad boy, and yeah, I'll show you my results in a minute. It's good to see some solid metal at last. So this is where we're at. I've got that all plug welded along the bottom, start tacking it in along the top. So inner and outer are now joined, all nice and fresh and new metal. So that's great. I can carry on getting that welded up. This bit, obviously I've got to put a piece in there. That's not because that was rotten. That was actually because I messed up. Right, I got that little detail in there, made up of a couple of pieces, but that's looking all right. Right, got that bit to go in there, something like that. If I can get it back in, looks all right. So I'm just going to draw around that and then cut it out. Right, we are clamped in, good to go. Let's bosh this in. Well, I just burnt a lovely big hole through that. I think we'll just change the setting on the welder there. We'll just tack it. I was being a bit too keen. Bosh, that's tacked in. That will get fully welded with the rest of it. Right, next piece. So I've got to continue the arch down here. This is an aftermarket part. It didn't quite reach there, so I've got one piece that will go in there, follows that line across, and then I've just got to infill that little bit. Right, that's in, that's done. I've also started prepping this for the inner arch lip, all around there, and I've got the arch lip there, ready to go. Just waiting for that primer to dry, and then I'll get it welded in. I'll show you that when it's done, because my head's right in the arch and that, you can't really see what I'm doing, and I don't want to bore you to death. The arch lip is all plug welded along there. That's in. You can just kind of see it returning round there. So all that's left to do now is just close all this up. Right, first piece cut for the arch. I've had that sitting a couple of days with a couple of coats of the old primer on it. I've actually come out here on a Sunday night to get a bit more done. I'm determined to get this arch done in this video, and we can move on to something else, see if I can mess that up. But yeah, it's dark outside. I've got the old heater on, slowly warming up in here. Let's get this in. So that's how it's going to look. Closes all that off nicely. Right, it's now Tuesday evening. This is really testing my skills and my patience. So Sunday night, I ran out of welding wire, which is fine. I've got a spare emergency backup, which is a cheap one, and I just getting nowhere with it. It just kind of lays on top of the metal. It doesn't like melt into it or penetrate it or anything. So I had to ditch that, and now we're back here tonight. So let me show you where I'm up to. Right, so just got to finish that welding that up. I did do a little bit more, but like I say, the welds were just kind of laying on the top, not really penetrating. So I've just knocked it back a bit with a grinder, just so I can properly get at that. Now I've got some more wire, make sure that penetrates nicely and no pinholes. So I've got that one. That's all done, all filled in. Just got to curve this corner off. And then on this side, I've got to fully weld it. I've been using one of those little welding rods because this was quite a gap here. So just to take up some of it, some people call it the coat hanger method. And I'll have to do it in there as well. Obviously the welds look quite hideous at the moment. And then I've just got to go around here. But obviously that curves round with the arch, but it also curves back on itself. So it's testing me big time. So this is now all fully welded in. All across here, all up there, all round there. Inside is welded as well. So that's good. The bits round the top there of that arch, just to close that last bit off, I'm not going to film them. They're going to take a bit more work because of the shape going that way and that way. And you can't really see what I'm doing if I film it. So I'm going to get that done, grind it back, and I'll just show you that at the start of the next video. I have failed in my mission to get it all done in this video, but ho-hum. So we're going to leave it there. I'm happy with what I've achieved in this one anyway. Unfortunately, boring old work does get in the way of working on this caddy, but we've got bills to pay. So I'm struggling a bit for time and, family life, all the rest of it. So, I'll update you as and when I can. But thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate the support. If you could give us a little subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. It all helps. And don't forget to hit the old thumbs up button. See you in the next one.